The air across the savanna grows heavy as a golden figure cuts through the wind. The lion closes in with cold precision, instinct, and relentless pressure in every movement. The more the target loses composure, the clearer the advantage of the savanna's ruler becomes. If another predator moves too close, that dominance quickly turns into a warning. When the encounter erupts, the savanna leaves no room for a single mistake. Amid the muddy rivers and humid wetlands of Africa, the hippopotamus stands as an unpredictable force. With a massive body weighing around 3,000 pounds and thick skin built for harsh conditions, it dominates the boundary between water and mud. Its powerful territorial instinct creates danger even for agile animals like impalas, especially when panic drives them into deep water or unstable marshland. As a group of male lions approaches the river to cross towards the opposite bank, the surface appears calm for only a moment. Suddenly, a hippo rises from the water and charges forward with a clear warning display. Thanks to quick reflexes, one lion rapidly retreats to shore, escaping the danger by only a narrow margin. But another lion remains hidden on a rock in the middle of the river. The hippo notices the movement and opens its enormous jaws once again, delivering a warning that cannot be misunderstood. Within the water's territory, the lion is no longer the one in control. As night begins to fall, the balance slowly changes. The hippo moves away from the water and leaves behind the protection it knows best, traveling onto land alone. Across short distances, it can reach speeds of nearly 20 miles per hour, but endurance is no longer an absolute advantage. The lions coordinate from behind and along both sides, using collective pressure to wear down the giant's resistance. Even so, not every hunt involving a hippo reaches a conclusion. Just one precise reaction from jaws, estimated at nearly 1,800 pounds per square inch, is enough to force any challenger to reconsider. Along the shifting boundary between water and land, power changes hands with every step. Across the open grasslands of Africa, the cheetah stands as a symbol of pure speed. With a slender body weighing around 120 pounds, long legs, and semi-retractable claws, it can grip the ground well while accelerating. Within only a few seconds, a cheetah can reach around 70 miles per hour, leaving many small hoofed animals with little chance to escape a perfectly timed burst of speed. But that speed always comes with a physiological cost. After each chase, the cheetah's body heats up quickly, its breathing becomes intense, and it must rest to recover energy. Those moments of rest often become its most dangerous window. From close range, a male lion notices the smaller predator with its guard down. Normally, the cheetah relies on speed to move away from risk. But when the distance closes too quickly, that advantage no longer has enough time to take effect. With an estimated bite force of around 650 pounds per square inch, the lion creates overwhelming pressure in a single explosive moment. During post-hunt confrontations, cheetahs are often at a disadvantage against stronger competitors. That is why they must feed quickly, leave at the right moment, and stay alert to every movement around them. On the savanna, speed opens the door to opportunity, but awareness is what keeps that opportunity alive. If the lion symbolizes power across the savanna, then the hyena represents endurance, coordination, and opportunity. One side relies on explosive strength and the authority of the pride. The other depends on numbers, stamina, and the ability to read situations with remarkable speed. Because both compete for territory, prey, and position within the food chain, these two species have become long-standing rivals. When a pride of lionesses completes a successful hunt, hyenas often begin watching from a distance. Rapid calls bring more individuals into the area, turning scattered figures into a growing circle of pressure. They do not rush in recklessly. Instead, they spread out, divide directions, and apply constant pressure to disrupt the lion's rhythm. With a bite force often estimated at around or above 1,000 pounds per square inch, the hyena is powerful enough to earn caution from almost any competitor. As the pressure increases, lionesses may sometimes retreat from the meal, especially when hyenas greatly outnumber them and no male lion is nearby. But if a fully grown male arrives, the balance can shift very quickly. Through superior strength and territorial presence, it often causes the hyena formation to break apart. In response, male lions remain highly alert to isolated individuals and groups of hyenas moving close to the pride's territory. On the savanna, victory does not always belong to the strongest. It belongs to the species that understands the cost of every advance. The ambush master that even the king of the savanna must respect is none other than the Nile crocodile. Hidden near the water's edge, it reads every vibration across the river through highly sensitive pressure sensors around its jaws, waiting for prey to step into the danger zone. With a body reaching more than 16 feet and a bite force of around 3,700 pounds per square inch, the crocodile turns the boundary between land and water into an unpredictable domain. Encounters often become more tense during the dry season, when water levels drop and crocodiles may spend longer periods on land. In that moment, the balance begins to shift toward the big cats. The lion pride does not rush in recklessly. Instead, it applies pressure through numbers. A few individuals keep closing the distance, while others block the path back to the water. The standoff becomes almost breathless. If the crocodile manages to slide back into the water, it has a chance to escape the pressure. But if it is kept too far from the bank, the weight and coordination of the lion pride can shift the balance firmly in their favor. Even so, lions must also live alongside the water, where every step can carry risk, especially when cubs need to cross a river. Water does not only sustain life, it also decides who holds power along the boundary between two worlds. In that place, both the lion and the crocodile survive by one rule: adapt to preserve balance. African wild dogs are enduring strategists of the savanna. Although they weigh only around 80 pounds, far smaller than lions, they make up for it with tireless legs, strong social coordination, and an almost absolute pack mentality. That unity has made them known for a hunting success rate close to 80%, higher than many larger predators such as lions or leopards. Normally, lions and wild dogs avoid direct confrontation because both understand the cost of conflict. But when a pack becomes too focused on pursuing prey, it may sometimes enter the territory of a male lion by mistake. With one short burst of speed near 50 miles per hour, a lion can scatter the wild dog formation. The slowest individual may be forced out of formation by the territorial pressure of the dominant predator. For the lion, it is a way to defend land, food, and control. Even a wild dog denning area can become risky if a lion appears while the pack is off guard. However, the lion's advantage is never absolute. When a lioness moves alone or must protect her young, the wild dog pack may gather into formation, circle quickly, and apply pressure through rapid barking. The goal is not reckless confrontation, but to force the rival away from the pack's safe zone. On the savanna, strength creates power, but pack discipline is what helps wild dogs protect tomorrow. Unlike the loud authority of the lion, the leopard chooses silence. Hidden beneath dense foliage, this predator weighs around 130 pounds and turns solitude into an advantage. It survives through camouflage, a rosette-patterned coat, sharp vision, and movements that are almost soundless. When it spots a lion from a distance, the leopard can sprint at around 35 miles per hour, then climb more than 20 feet into a tree to create a temporary boundary. There, it does not need to confront the threat. It only needs to keep its distance and wait for the right moment to disappear from sight. But on the savanna, the line between predator and pressured target is always fragile. If a lion pride discovers it at close range, the escape routes on the ground quickly narrow. The lions spread out to apply pressure, while the male uses his muscular build to create an overwhelming advantage. Faced with that formation, the leopard has only one wise choice: leave the meal behind, conserve energy, and move away from danger. Beneath the wild sky, no place remains safe forever. Sometimes survival does not come from victory, but from knowing when to leave before it is too late. The snake strikes in an instant, so fast that the prey barely understands what has happened. Without legs and without making loud noise, it closes the distance in silence and strikes with remarkable precision. When facing other predators, the snake does not rely on defense alone, but turns every moment into a test of survival. And once the first sudden motion begins, every sense of safe distance quickly becomes an illusion. Nature offers little room for error, only adaptation refined through generations. Across the dry grasslands, sparse forests, and sun-scorched rocks of North America, the rattlesnake emerges as a silent ambush predator. Within a body often reaching around 6 feet long are biological systems designed to conserve energy. Its tail, formed from dry keratin segments, creates a warning sound that helps avoid many unnecessary confrontations. During most hunts, the rattlesnake does not pursue prey over long distances. Once prey moves within range, it delivers a remarkably fast strike, then often retreats while tracking the target through scent. The venom of the eastern diamondback rattlesnake is primarily hemotoxic, affecting circulation and body function. An average venom yield can reach nearly 0.016 ounces, making it one of the most venomous rattlesnake species in North America. Throughout the wetlands of the southeastern United States, the eastern diamondback rattlesnake occasionally encounters rarer opportunities. When a young alligator leaves the water's edge to absorb warmth beneath the sun, the exposed ground makes it easier to monitor. The snake keeps its body low and its head steady, using heat-sensing pits to detect warmth while gradually reducing the distance. Once the smaller target enters striking range, the encounter unfolds extremely quickly. Even in a limited ecological role, the snake still contributes to maintaining balance among younger alligator populations within the wetlands. In those wetlands, the line between hunter and hunted can reverse within a single moment. That is the quiet rhythm of nature beneath the dry grass. Beneath the rainforest canopy of Africa, a patterned shape rests motionless among layers of fallen leaves, almost completely blending into the forest floor. It is the Gaboon viper, a master of camouflage with a body stretching beyond 6 feet, and in larger individuals, weighing over 40 pounds. Its strength does not come from long pursuits, but from turning stillness into a highly effective hunting strategy. With its massive body and leaf-like patterns, the gaboon viper can remain motionless for long periods, waiting for prey to move within favorable range. When the moment arrives, the silence breaks with one extremely fast and precise forward motion. Fangs reaching nearly 2 inches in length allow it to gain the advantage within seconds before the forest settles back into its natural, quiet rhythm. The life cycle of this snake unfolds with the same silence. Rather than laying eggs, the female gives birth to fully formed young already capable of early independence. A single reproductive cycle can produce nearly 50 offspring, continuing a survival strategy that remains quiet, patient, and enduring beneath the shadows of the rainforest. In the desert, life is never loud. Scorching sand, limited shade, and infrequent prey force every movement to cost valuable energy. Within this harsh environment, the sidewinder rattlesnake and the Sahara sand viper emerge as 2 ambush specialists perfectly adapted to loose sand terrain. For the sidewinder, the hunt begins with the terrain. When changing position, it uses sidewinding, pushing its body diagonally to reduce contact with the hot sand and maintain grip on the shifting surface. It does not chase continuously, but crosses the heated sand to reach areas marked by the traces of lizards, small rodents, or young birds. Its speed can reach around 18 miles per hour under suitable conditions, but its true advantage lies in how it chooses an ambush position. Once the sidewinder finds the right spot, it buries part of its body beneath the sand and keeps its head ready. The moment prey moves too close, the advantage of distance almost disappears. For the Sahara sand viper, the strategy resembles a motionless trap. Its body, often measuring around 24 inches long, blends naturally with the color of the sand. During the evening hours, it can bury itself almost completely beneath the surface, turning the desert into nearly perfect camouflage. When prey moves close enough, one short and remarkably precise strike can immediately shift the encounter. In a place where survival is tested every day, the true survivor is not the one that moves the most, but the one that wastes the least movement. In southern Africa, the snouted cobra emerges as a silent ground predator. With a length that can approach nearly 8 feet, this snake is recognized by its distinctive snout, which helps it search through brush, soft soil, and hidden shelters. Rather than simply waiting for prey to pass by, it actively moves across the grasslands, using its forked tongue and strong sense of smell to interpret lingering traces carried through the air. A target appears, a large monitor lizard weighing around 15 pounds crossing an open stretch of ground. Instead of prolonging the encounter with a strong and agile opponent, the snouted cobra chooses a cautious approach. It raises the front of its body, maintains distance, then delivers one short and remarkably precise forward motion before quickly pulling back. The next close approaches are not meant to display power, but to create pressure and reduce the prey's escape options. Its venom yield can reach around 0.005 ounces, affecting the nervous system and gradually reducing reaction speed. As a result, the encounter does not become a prolonged struggle that wastes energy. In the world of hunting snakes, the true advantage does not come from noise, but from appearing at the right moment and retreating with perfect timing. Within dense jungles and tropical canopies, green is more than beauty. It is a form of survival, allowing many snakes to disappear among fresh leaves, twisting vines, and layered shadows. The green mamba, green pit viper, and green boomslang all use that color to become part of the forest itself. Often before nearby prey can even notice the quiet movement beside them. The green mamba stands out with its slender body, reaching nearly 8 feet in length and moving across branches with remarkable balance. Different species of green mambas are found throughout the forests of Africa, where they commonly hunt small birds, lizards, and tree-dwelling animals. With powerful neurotoxic venom, it does not rely on noise or intimidation. Instead, it depends on silence, sharp awareness, and perfectly timed movement. To continue the cycle of survival, a female mamba may lay up to 17 eggs during a breeding season. The green pit viper represents a different kind of hunter built for sudden ambushes. It often coils along low branches, blending into the leaves while waiting for prey to move within range. In many viper species, the strike can happen in under 100 milliseconds, faster than the defensive reaction of many small animals. Because of that, the encounter is often over before the forest itself seems to react. The green boomslang hunts through patience and exceptional observation. With a slender body measuring around 6 feet long, it quietly follows chameleons, tree frogs, or young birds through the canopy. Chameleons survive through camouflage, yet remaining still can sometimes become a weakness. As a rear-fanged snake, the boomslang must maintain contact long enough for its venom to take effect. It does not rely on explosive speed, but on sharp vision and precise timing. Across the sunlit savanna, some footsteps are heavy enough to make an entire herd of antelope change direction. A male lion creates pressure not only with its roar, but with a body weighing over 400 pounds, a thick mane, and a commanding presence across the open grassland. It stands as a symbol of strength, territory, and pride dominance. But within the dry grass ahead, a much smaller opponent carries its own dangerous boundary. It is the black mamba, Africa's longest venomous snake. At around 14 feet long, it carries remarkable speed, alertness, and defensive instinct. A single meal for the black mamba can exceed 1 pound of food, providing enough energy to sustain it for several days. The confrontation begins with one step too close. The lion turns through the tall grass, unintentionally forcing the solitary snake into a narrow space. The black mamba immediately raises the front of its body, reveals the dark interior of its mouth, and gives a clear warning signal. It is not seeking a prolonged confrontation. For this snake, warning is a way to conserve energy and avoid unnecessary risk. If the distance continues to close, a defensive strike can trigger a serious neurotoxic response, sometimes involving around 0.004 ounces of venom or more. At that boundary, even a lion must remain cautious. After the encounter, the lion quietly disappears into the rhythm of the grasslands. It carries with it the strength, strategy, and pressure of a predator at the top of the hunting order. Survival here is always shaped by opportunity, risk, and instinct. If you would like to continue exploring the wild, be sure to like and subscribe. As darkness settles across the savanna, the footsteps of the grassland's ruler still seem to echo through the night.